Hey everyone, how you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bilikis. How you all doing? It's good to be back with another tutorial, which will be on how to make a two-piece collar. That is when you have your stand collar and the top collar, or the collar fold, however you identify it, which is very easy to make. All you need is your pattern for the shirt or for the dress, whatever you're making at all, and then or the fabric itself, the fabric whereby you've joined the shoulder and you have the neck region open. You can use either of the two. So freehand and pattern drafting, all the same method, because this method is very easy, simple and fast. So if today is your first time of checking out this channel, you're welcome. Please make sure you subscribe and don't forget to tap on the notification bell. You can also check out my other channel, Pattern Drafting with Bilikis, which are also very easy videos. Back to today's class. Here I have a pattern for my shirt. Let me just show you what we are making today. This is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try as much as possible. So this is it. Can you see this shirt? I just finished making this not quite long, and I decided to do a video on it. So this is it. And you see that's what a collar looks like. So how long you want this fold to be now depends on your preference, which I'm going to explain right now. So all you have to do is to get your pattern or your fabric whereby you've joined all others and you're just left with the neck. You just have to measure it and whatever you get. So now here I have the pattern for this very shirt I have. So this is the front and this is the back. It has a yoke. You might look at it as being funny. There's a pleat at the back. This is it. So that's because of this. There's a pleat at the back. That's why I have the yoke separated. So this is all we need now for the back, because we are dealing with the neck. And also another thing I just need to mention is the front. All I did was to cut out 1 inch from the front, because when you look at it this way, this is where the front, this is the shoulder line here. So all I did was to cut off 1 inch from the front and join to the back. But what I've done is to have measured before cutting it off. I just measured from the neckline of the front to the center front. This is the center front here. So this is the overlapping. So all I did was to measure from this shoulder line to the center point, and also measure the back. This is the back from here down here. But in case if your shirt doesn't have a yoke, your shoulder line will still be here, because this is what we eventually want to achieve. Look at my shirt here. Can you see this is the shoulder line, but the yoke is 1 inch into the front. So that's why I have this way. So there's no big deal in that. So this is it. This is my front. This is my back. So all you need to do is to note the measurement of your overlap. So here my overlap is 3/4 inch, as you can see that. So all this interfacing and facing will all be folded in to have something like this. So just take your measuring tape. I already measured before I cut it out. So just measure this way and whatever you have. So here I have 5 1/4, which I've written here. So I did not measure the overlap. I only know the overlap is 3/4 inch. That's 0.5. So I like to eventually add that after covering it up. So my front neck measurement is 5 1/4. Why that of my back? From here, from the center back to the shoulder line. This is the shoulder line. So this is what I have. I have 3/4 and extra 1 back. So that's it for the back and for the front. So having noted that, now we can now draft our collar. So just get a piece of paper. So for instance, if you are using your fabric, just get the measurement, just fold it at the center back to the front. Then you measure whatever you have at the back, note it down. Then from the shoulder line you joined to the front, measure it down. That's all. So the first thing I have to do now is to pick where I want to be the center back and the center front. So here is going to be the center back, and here will be the center front. So now first the center back measurement. So just to confirm, it is 3/4 and just 1 back. Always make sure your measurements are right. So I'm going to insert that, which is here. So good. So this is the center back measurement, and then for the front, which is 5¼ I'm just going to measure that. 5¼ will be from that point here. So this is the center back and the center front measurement. So what I'm going to do next is this. I'm just going to go up by 1/2 inch at this center front. Let me see what I have, and then I'm going to just make a slight curve into the back. So you can use your armhole, but I just like to use my hip curve. Good. So this is what I have. So for the stand collar, 1 inch is fine, but there are times where you just want a big collar. You would have seen shirts with that, so you can do like 1½. It depends on your preference, but ideally just 1 inch here. Since the center back is straight, come here 1, and then you come here 1 inch. Good. I'm just going to note how the points where I curved, which is here, come down here. So that's going to be accurate. Good. Can you see the back? The stand collar has been successfully done. So the next thing I'm now going to do now is this. Remember the overlap when I measured it, it was 3/4 inches. I'm now going to extend that. So 3/4 inches from here out here. So the next thing is I'm just going to make a curve, but if you know you want it straight, that means I'm just going to straighten it and curve it out. But if you want it to be curved, just blend it up. Totally depends on your preference. So can you see what I have? So the next thing now is, this is the stand collar. So for us to now get the collar fall or top collar, it is very easy. I'll just show you this simple method. Just measure whatever you have from the tip here downward. Here I have, okay, that's almost 1 3/4. So just come here, measure it here at this point. You can use your pencil to make a straight line. Good. And I'm going to fold. And then you get your tracing wheel. Tracing wheel, so just trace on this part. Good. Open it up. So can you see what I have here? So then I'm just going to trace it out. That is it. You can use your free hand or anyhow you want it. Good. So can you see what I have? So the next thing I'm just going to do is this. For the top collar now, I'm just going to make it 2 inches. Fine. 2 inches here. Can you see that? And then coming to this side, you just have to measure 3 inches upward. Can you see how the measuring tape is? 3 inches. Mark that point. Connect. Can you see how easy that is? And it's just going to sit perfectly. So this is what your collar looks like. Like the shirt I showed you, that collar, if you want something like that, all you have to do is to extend this part more. So in that case, you could just do like, since this is 3, you could do 3½, you could do 4, depending on how wide you want it to be. So let's say for instance here, so you could just come out a bit. I'll show you how you're going to do that. So if anything makes it more than that 3 inches we did initially, you now have to connect here. So in that case, you just make a slight curve to come to this very part so that it doesn't come down on your shirt and make it look funny. So that is it. I'm just going to curve it this way. Just little. I prefer this part to be straighter and then the curve comes here. Let me see what I have. So the choice is yours. That very one I showed you is this one. So if it is more than the 3 inches here, just curve it in. Just straight line and curve it into the 2 inches so that it sits well. So now it depends on your preference which one to go for. So since you've already seen what this looks like, so let us just cut this out so that we can sew it and see how beautiful it looks. Let's see what it looks like. So you can see a little one for this. So don't forget, this has to be on fold. It has to be on fold. Also the stand collar has to be on fold. So this is the stand collar. This is the collar fall or the top collar, however you want to note that. So, okay. Cut this out. So a collar pattern is ready. So this is what I'm going to have. So this is what the collar looks like. And you see how easy that is. So what I'm going to do now is to just cut it out on the fabric so that we can sew it up and see what it looks like. Now guys, I've just cut it out on a fabric. And remember I said it's going to be on fold. So that's very essential. So I just have to cut that out on fold. So this is what I have. Can you see? And this. So this is what the collar looks like. Now to make the collar stable and beautiful and structured, you will need some interfacing. So it depends on the fabric you're using. Like for instance, if you're using a jean material, you don't need to add at all. For instance, if you're having a thick cotton, you can use a medium interfacing. But this is what a collar stay looks like. You can see how thick it is. Yes. But if I'm using a thick fabric, I don't use that. So just for this tutorial now, I can just use this lightest one just to make it stable. So all I have to do now is to glue it to the wrong side. This is the wrong side here and here. So I'm just going to glue it. Then we'll go to the sewing machine. Guys, I have interfaced the fabric and I've sewn it. Can you see whatever seam allowance I left? Another thing I did was to notch. That's very, very important, because it's going to make that area lay so well. So what I'm going to do now is to turn this to the right side and give it a good press before we top stitch. So I'm just going to give it a good press. Can you see I have give it a good press and it's looking so beautiful and stable. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to just top stitch like 1/4 of an inch all through it, which is very easy. Just 1/4 of an inch is fine. At this point, lift your foot. Now looking at it, can you see how beautiful that looks, both front and back? So the next thing I'm going to do now is this. I will have to place this stand collar on it this way. Can you see that? And then pin it all around. Can you see? So this other one, looking at it, I folded this part because this is the part we'll be finishing on the outside. So when you fold it in already, it's going to make it easier when you are finishing it up. So can you see what I have? So I'm just going to pin it down and then I'm going to sew it all around and stop here. I've sewn it, so you can see how I followed the curve. Make sure you pin. Pinning is very, very important. And after that, I'm just going to notch these points with my scissors. So after sewing it and notching, all I have to do is to turn it to the right side. And you see how beautiful that looks. Just gave it a good press, and this is what it looks like. You can see how beautiful that looks. Like the one I showed you in the beginning of the video is longer than this, but this is just reasonable enough. Can you see how neat and beautiful, stable it is? Can you see that? So if this tutorial on how to make the two-piece collar has been helpful, please give me a giant thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And for our physical classes in Lagos, it starts on the 9th of January 2023. The beginners, intermediate, and advanced. I will be expecting you guys. I have to go now. I remain your girl Bilikis. Bye guys.